Hey, how's it going, YouTubers? As you can tell, I am not wearing any Montreal gear because unfortunately the Habs got eliminated from the first round of the playoffs. As much of a heartbreak as it is, it was kind of expected, especially after they lost Gallagher, the heart and soul of the team. But I'm not going to go down that road. Today I actually want to discuss the second round of the playoffs. Hard to believe that this is the second round of the playoffs when we actually have already had two rounds, because we had the qualifying round and we had the first round that just finished. So what an unbelievable playoff this has been, and I don't even know where to start. Like, the qualifying round was a crazy best of five series, and then we just obviously finished last night with the both game sixes with the Philly defeating the Habs, and then the Vancouver Canucks defeating this defending Stanley Cup champs St. Louis Blues. Jordan Binnington just did not look like himself. I'm not sure what it is, if it was just a long layoff, whatever it was, because heading into March, when they were going right before the COVID hit, St. Louis was by far the best team in the West. I can't recall if they had the better record over Boston, but I know that both those teams respectively were first in their conferences, and they just lost a step. I don't know what to say. I mean, I thought St. Louis was going to at least contend. I know they didn't have the best play around series, I guess, because they played against the top other three teams of the West, which was the Vegas, Dallas, and oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Colorado. Colorado. So I'm very shocked that they did not make it past the second round. There were a lot of teams that lost in the first round that I was very surprised, including Washington. They just did not show up against the Islanders, and the other upset was, I really should have done my research. I apologize. But yeah, they're just teams that you expected to go far and didn't. And I mean, Carolina looked like they were going to steamroll through the whole playoffs, and then Boston just took care of them just like that. And they don't even have Tuukka Rask in net. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic, and I apologize. I had to pick up something. I'm sorry. So today I'm going to preview the first game, which I didn't realize was actually tonight, is the Avalanche and Stars, the number 2 and 3 teams in the Western Conference. And obviously the winner of this will have the chance to play in the Western Final against either Vegas or Vancouver. And I will get to that series after, but first let's focus on this. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any jerseys or memorabilia for the Stars or Avalanche, but I am a bit of a card collector. And if you're a Sabres fan, this is going to sting, but obviously that's the last time and the only time that the Dallas Stars have won the Stanley Cup was back in '99 when they played against the Sabres, and that was that whole controversial goal of, was his foot in the crease, was it not? It's 21 years later. I mean, a goal's a goal. That's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. And they were obviously going up against the Avalanche, and unfortunately I don't have any memorabilia, but growing up I was a huge, obviously, fan of the Habs, and one of the icons for Montreal would have been obviously Patrick Roy. Then he got traded to Colorado, where he would have an amazing career there and win 2 more Stanley Cups. So I was very happy for him. So unfortunately, that's the only 2 things I have. I can't really hold them up the whole time I'm recording, so I apologize. But those are the only 2 things I have for those respective teams. I do have other cards, but I figured those 2 were basically the face of their franchises of winning the Stanley Cup, because Roy won 2 Conn Smythes, if I'm not mistaken, during their 2 cup runs, and obviously Brett Hall got the game-winning goal, the Stanley Cup winning goal. And I mean, that's a pretty cool achievement to have. So this is the 5th time that the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars will be matching up in the playoffs. They first met back in 1999. Obviously Dallas win the Stanley Cup, as I just mentioned, against the Buffalo Sabres. They met again the following postseason in 2000, and again Dallas got the better of Colorado. They would once again represent the Western Conference in the final, but unfortunately Jersey had something else to say, and that was their second cup, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, from an overtime goal by Jason Arnott, if I'm really not mistaken. And if I'm not, my memory isn't too bad. And then the last 2 times they met was in 04 and 06, and Colorado got the revenge, but unfortunately it did not lead to them going to the Stanley Cup final or raising the cup. So will it be the 5th time? Will this be the term? Because I honestly believe Colorado is a contending team. That's just my opinion. No disrespect to Dallas, but, and I don't want to say that they came out flat, but I mean, Dallas did not show as much consistency, I guess, when they had their round robins, because They lost 3 other games, and it took to a shootout against the Blues, I do believe, in the final game in order to get that number 3 seed when they would go on to play the Calgary Flames. And if you're a Flames fan, I apologize. I mean, normally if you have a 3-0 lead, you should be able to hold on to that, but unfortunately 7 goals later, they're flying back home or taking the bus back home, depending on how their travel arrangements are. So, yeah, I don't know how the series is going to play out, but I do honestly believe Colorado has the better chance of going on to the next round. Now, Dallas, please prove me wrong, or go ahead and prove me wrong. They do have a good team, but it's not Colorado. And I'm not going to lie to you, when Varlamov went to the Islanders, I was a little skeptical about, well, who's really going to be there? Like, what happens if Grubauer gets cold or whatever happens if he gets hurt? But their backup, whose name I have a hard time pronouncing, has proven to be a decent backup. I do, if I'm not mistaken, I think he did play in one of the round-robin games, maybe even if I played in one of the first-round games, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they seem to be just fine in goal. And you don't have to worry about offense or defense because they are killing it on every line. And if you're a Leafs fan, you must be kicking yourself in the ass because you got rid of Kadri, who was known for vicious hits against the Bruins players, because obviously in 2018 and 2019 got suspended for both series, and then obviously the Leafs would go on to lose both of those series against the Bruins. And I'm sure if you're a Leafs fan, you don't want to be hearing this, so I apologize ahead of time. But be doing previews for every single game, but I just wanted to say that this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. I can see Dallas pushing this to a 5th or maybe a 6th game, but I just think that Colorado is just too dominant. They have too much talent on their offense, too much talent on their defense, and like I said, Grubauer, when he is in net, he looks lights out. Like, because they just spanked Arizona. It looked like Arizona had no business being in the playoffs. Granted, back in March, I don't think they were in a playoff position, so I'm sure they were just happy to play some extra hockey in the summertime. So that's my preview for now. If I choose to make more of this, I will, but I would like to get the other teams done as well. So until next time, take care.